Welcome to Canadian Women of the Outdoors, highlighting amazing Canadian women and small businesses. Brought to you by Revolution Armory. Join the revolution. True North Baits, superior quality fishing tackle. See what the fuss is about. The Decoy Daddy, Canada's newest silhouette and waterfowl accessories company, delivering premium products to Canadian hunters. And Hot Box Huts, Lake Simcoe's hottest ice fishing experience. Enjoy the episode.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Canadian Women of the Outdoors. I am Nicole, I'm your host. Before we get into it, just a big shout out to our sponsors, Revolution Armory, True North Baits, Hot Box Huts, and the Decoy Daddy. Go give them a like and follow on the social media, show them some love. I'm joined tonight with my, wow, I'm stumbling over all that. I'm joined tonight with my co-host. No, that's not even the right words. Anyway, my co-host Chrissy is on with us tonight. I'm just stumbling over words.
You're nailing it.
Chrissy's with us as my co-host tonight, and we're very excited. We've been talking about this particular guest for a couple weeks now after we completely creeped the Instagram profile, full-on stalker status, but that's okay. That's how we do this.
I love that.
So this week, we would like to welcome Lisa Davies, formerly Lisa Hughes, onto the show.
Thank you. Hello. It's nice. What?
I'm sorry about that intro. I stumbled over all of that.
No, you did great. No judgment. You know what? That's what makes it natural. So.
Right? Yeah. I'm not. I don't edit that kind of stuff. It's like, it is what it is. People will probably laugh at that and be like, "Oh, Nicole." So, tell us a bit about yourselves. Oh my God, I can't talk. Tell us.
Okay, we're done.
Tell us a bit about yourself, where you're from, where you grew up, that kind of thing.
So I grew up in Durham region, grew up in Durham region. I guess my history of my fishing or anything like that, I didn't grow up fishing. So I started I'm going to take one of these out for a second because it's weird. So I grew up, oh my God. See, now I'm fumbling over here.
It's contagious. Oh my God.
Seriously. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I grew up in Durham region. So I grew up in the city. I grew up playing hockey. I was always like a tomboy. I never fished or hunt, didn't have anyone in my family that did any of that kind of stuff. So I only really started back in 2018. And from there, I just got hooked. I don't know if you want to get into the fishing or hunting or that stuff yet, but just background is kind of just more so of, late in my life, I kind of got into enjoying the outdoors more so. And from there, I just became addicted to everything to do with it.
So what actually got you into this love of hunting and fishing, or did you just decide, I'm going to do this one day?
Yeah, so at the time I was in a relationship with someone who was from a small town, and we went skeet shooting one evening in some field, and I've always been that person that's kind of out of the box and likes to do everything that my family or friends don't do. And so when we went skeet shooting, shortly after that, we did break up, and I was like, you know what, I want to get into all of this myself. And so I was living at home at the time and at my parents'. And I was like, I'm going to go get my gun license. And my dad was like, you're not having any gun in this home. And they were pretty strict about that, which rightfully so. It is their home. But I still went out, got my gun license, got everything. And I decided just to dive right in. And I started searching on Facebook and going on social media to find people that were alike, that were into that sort of stuff. Because I didn't know anyone. No close circle. Even my friends were all the most city friends ever. Like I said, they always I had hockey friends and I played on a co-ed hockey team, did kind of tomboyish or things that my friends didn't grow up doing, but I didn't have anyone that could show me how to hunt. So, I found this older gentleman who was amazing and brought me out turkey hunting. And turkey hunting is actually my birthday, the opening day. So I always look forward to that. So I kind of get a double whammy. And he took me out and he got a tom within an hour of being there. And it was super exciting, super surreal, and so fun to witness. And from there, I was hooked. So he brought me on a few other hunts. And sadly, we didn't get me a turkey that first year, but I was able to kind of learn a lot and how turkey, act in a field and how, they react to calls, and, really learning all about it. So that's what kind of got me started into the hunting side of things. And then with fishing, I really just casted when I was at like a family off a dock when I was young, but like it was just, maybe a one-off 10-minute thing as a kid and then going off to do your own thing. So I decided, okay, well, when you can't hunt, I need to do something to be out in nature. So I decided to go out and get my very first like little kayak after casting offshore on random like banks or rivers and stuff like that. And I would just go on Google Maps and like literally look to see what lakes were around me out of where I am in Durham, which is mainly like Peterborough or like Lindsay area. All those kind of, or Port Perry, I guess, is the closest kind of where you can get some like panfish offshore. And so, yeah, I would just Google and drive and see what was open. And sometimes I would go there and it would be like a landlocked spot. So then I would be like, okay, got to go back to Google and like check. So I would just start driving, and from there I just like started exploring new spots. And then because I am a wedding family photographer, I was kind of posting my fishing and hunting on another separate personal page, but I had a lot of friends that were kind of against hunting. So I started Lady Canadian from there, because out of kind of like how my brain works, as we talked before we started recording, I'm like ADHD. So it kind of like oh my God, what do you say? Putting into like folders in my brain by making Instagram. So I'm like, okay, yeah, thank you. Oh gosh.
It is a struggle bus, apparently.
I know.
Case of the
seriously. So yeah, I made Lady Canadian. And from there, it's just like been fun to post, and I've met so many amazing ladies from it. Like coming onto this is never what I thought back in 2018 when I made my Lady Canadian page. And I really believe that, like, as much as like social media has a stigma, I really think that it creates new opportunities to create, get us outside and do more things with people that have the same mind. Because if I didn't have Facebook or different, like, Instagram, I would never meet people like you guys or all my girlfriends that I've had the most amazing memories with. So yeah, that's what kind of like got me into it and where I've been going from there.
Well, with that segue, we'll jump actually into the photography side of it. I think Chris has some questions about the photography.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll just do that and then come back into it's all over the place, but
yeah, I mean, I had a rough start, I think, so I'm good to go now. I've warmed up.
Like I said, we're going to side quest a lot. So you said you started out doing like wedding family photography. What kind of made you go, I'm going to take the camera out into the field and start snapping these pictures? Was it just like the natural evolution of that artistic side, or was there something that was like, I need to get this on camera, I want to immortalize this?
So I went to college at Durham College actually for photography. They just opened up the program for it when I first started, and from there I was saving up for a Canon 5D Mark IV at the time, and I came out of it. They did some, because it was a new program, and they were doing a Canon scholarship, giving away a camera. And I came out of it, and they had all these industry professionals, and like our teachers put our portfolios together, and they voted on like top portfolio in the whole like program. And I don't want to say lucked out. I obviously worked for it, but I won the camera. So it kind of jump-started me getting into weddings to begin with, because cameras can be expensive, and lenses. And so from there, I never wanted to shoot weddings. I was like, this is brutal. Like, I don't want to be a part of the drama. And so I always loved to shoot nature. Like at the time, there was like a baseball field behind my parents' house and like trees. I'd go back there and just shoot different types of nature. And I was going to become a broker at one point, totally random. And I decided I hated that. I know, so it didn't even get to that point. I quit my job and started full-time wedding photography in 2014. And since then, I've been doing it full-time. This will be 11 years. And so during the pandemic, getting to your nature question, at the time you could still shoot weddings, but like it was really slow. I mean, it was good enough to still make money, but I liked it because it was kind of like I was able to slow down a little bit. Not like it, like the pandemic, but I was able to slow down and kind of be with nature and like do that stuff. So I was out shooting, already fishing, and my friends were all on their kayaks. And I was like, you know what? I'm already here. Like, why don't I start shooting it? And I was very much pushing for the fact of the natural shots. Like, I mean, you do have to set up like some shots, and we all take photos with our phones and stuff. But yeah, I just brought my camera, and from there, again, what was the word we used before? Oh my God,
Compartmentalized.
Thank you. God. From there, I made another Instagram called the Canadian Outdoor Photographer. And yeah, I just started posting and hashtagging and like tagging many companies. And it just started from there. And it just was able to create a whole new world of my photography and combining like my love and passion for nature and hunting and fishing, as well as photography together. So it's been really cool. And like, I started that in 2020, and the amount of things I've been able to do since then has been amazing. So.
Yeah, the list is pretty impressive.
Thank you.
For our listeners.
Yeah.
The fishing regs cover twice.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, 2 years in a row. Yeah.
2 years in a row. The Ontario Out of Doors cover too.
I've done that. I think it's 3 times now.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild.
How do you get chosen? Just a side quest here. How do you get chosen for the fishing regs, or did they like seek out your pictures and were like, we want this?
To be honest, when I first started making my pages at one point with Lady Canadian, I think I reached out to one company to like chat about them and see. And then they're like, yeah, maybe not. And then I talked to someone, they're like, let it naturally happen. So I stopped reaching out to any, like that was one time. I never got into this to become like a big, even when I do deals with people, I tell them I don't want to be an advertisement. Like, so with Canadian Photographer, I kind of looked at it the same way, and I just started tagging people and, went into it as a passion and something I just loved. And honestly, they just emailed me. Like, I don't know if it came from me tagging them and hashtagging and doing those things, and just sharing it. They just emailed me one day. They said, we want to send you an email and ask you a question. We set up a Skype call, and they just asked me, they wanted to team up. And then we did about 3 shoots the first time, which was last year, 2024. And it's like, obviously it's a regulation, so you really have to be careful on how the fish is held and how you handle things. And it's specific. Like, I have a full portfolio of about 500 images, which lots I have not even shared before. And, the mouth of the fish could be open, but it could have been released in 5 seconds. But, you just got to be careful on how it's displayed. So I get it. There's a lot of things put into that. So that's how that came about. And same thing with Ontario Doors. They just, reached out to me one day, and now they have the link to my portfolio, and they'll reach out and give me a list of what they need for the year, and I go out and do the shoots, and then they just say, hey, Lisa, we want to use this photo for next month's cover, and then they just, it's been really cool. And then I do some of their articles too, so like I was in a few articles.
It's not just a cover?
No, like, I mean, I'm like thrilled when it's a cover, but sorry, my ear thing keeps coming up. In January, or what was it? January, there's something called the opener in the Ontario Doors. So it's like the first or second main page. So I've done that about 4 times, I think, as well. And then the articles a few times. So at our property up north, me and my husband bought property in 2023. And I have like a whole display of them. And I was up there a couple days ago, and I'm like, the one wall's filling up, and I'm like so grateful for it. But I'm like, I can't make this whole bedroom just by whole display of Ontario Doors in magazine covers. But it's been very cool and like such an awesome experience.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been wild.
Insane. Like, and you took a couple, like the last issue that came out, because we were at CanCast, and the ladies issue. You took a couple of those pictures that the ladies had, right?
Like of the girls that are there?
Yeah. Didn't you take a couple of pictures?
Sorry, of the girls that were doing the panel with me, of them? Is that what you're asking?
That were actually in the magazine.
Yes. Yeah. There's like, the coolest thing has been, honestly, is I do obviously, like, I hang out with male or female, like, I don't care. But I think it's been so cool that, like, obviously we know hunting and fishing has been so male dominated, and I have like such an in by just hanging out with my girlfriends and being able to capture them naturally. And I feel like that's where a lot of people don't have that. And it's been so cool to see females on the cover. Like, I don't know how often there's been a female on the cover of the Ontario Doors. And just like that sort of stuff's been very fun to see. So yeah. Diana was on the opener in January. Diana Danger, she goes by. She wants me to probably say the full name. And Shannon Lane, you had her on here, Cures Outdoors. She was on the cover of this past July. And Brittany McGovern, I don't think you've talked to her before, but
I know of her. I haven't had her on, but I know of her.
Yeah, so she was on last year's, oh my God, am I blank? This year's fish regulations, oh gosh. And Kelsey as well, my friend Kelsey, she was on the cover of the hunting one recently. So it's been very cool to like have them all displayed everywhere and just, they're real true outdoors people that just genuinely love being out there. So I think that's what's awesome about it
hunting.
all.
Have you done the hunting regs too?
No, sorry, not the hunting regs. Ontario Doors, the recent hunting one they have for turkey season this month. That's my friend Kelsey on there. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That is. That's so
cool. It's been very cool. Sorry, my thing keeps popping out. So if you hear like me putting my fingers over it.
Mine keep popping out as well, but it's just... sorry, we did sidetrack on that one a little bit. Chris, where were
it's all good.
Do you like when you're out just doing your own thing, hunting, fishing, do you take your camera with you? Or do a lot of what you photograph is like the shoots? It's like specifically you're going out to grab that picture, or do you ever have moments where you take your camera out and you're like, you just happen to catch the perfect shot?
Actually, there's most moments I don't have my camera on me and I'm like, why didn't I bring it out? Because, excuse me, I do this for a living, like wedding wise. There's lots of times where I'm like, I do not want to bring my camera out. Like, I just want to be so present. And I don't want to think about that photo. And that may sound so silly because I can make money off of it and I can do things, but I feel as if just like anyone who works in any field, you don't always want to take it with you everywhere you are.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I feel like in moments but I will say I did have a kayak up until this past September. I just bought I call it my first new to me boat. It's just a 2002 little 14-foot Sylvan Super Snapper, and it's like the cutest little thing ever. It has a live well that I need to fix, but it's like overall perfect. And now I'm going to feel a bit more confident kind of keeping my camera on the boat with me because the kayak kind of made me a bit more nervous, even though it was really awesome. And I have my drone. So I think I'm going to have a lot more opportunity to do that and not feel like, oh, shoot, I should have had it with me, But yeah, I hope that answers that. But
it does. Yeah, thank you.
Did you say drone?
Yes. Yeah.
So do you do video as well then?
I kind of got into video at one point. It was like on the wedding side, and then I got my drone license, just the basic. A lot of people don't know you need. Yeah, see, a lot of people don't know that. So you can get the Mini Pro, which is under 249 milligrams. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember. But you don't need a drone license with that. And those have gotten so good. I just thought if I did a bit of research. I'm like, you know what? I'm already in this field. It's just the questions they ask is crazy. They ask about aviation and like how to fly a plane and some questions. But yeah, I got my drone license. It just kind of helps you fly in certain areas. And yeah, it's been fun to kind of explore and learn that. And again, the boat will help. Sorry, fluff came in front of my face. A boat will help because I can land it kind of, some people grab it. I know Peter Young Outdoors, I think he grabs his drone in the air when he's on his kayak. I could be wrong, but I'll feel a bit more confident using it more. So
that's really cool. I also didn't even know you needed a drone license. That's news to me. But
yeah, it's when it's over a certain size, and then there's an advanced license where you can fly it in airport zones, but you have to get permission. So like a written thing. Like I can't fly mine in like Oshawa or Whitby. I think it's Oshawa, because it's near an airport. They're very strict. So you get like warning signs that come up if you're near places. So basic, I got to remember exactly what it is, but it's a bit better than having the regular. You can just fly a better drone in a way. It's like the Pro. But it's not needed. It's not always needed. I probably didn't need it for what I do it for, but it's
good to have it though.
So, yeah, exactly. It gives me more opportunity. So
well,
yeah.
I mean, it'd be kind of cool if it's like hovering overhead and you get like a top view of you catching a fish or something like that. Like
yeah, cool. Yeah. Well, and the thing is I mean, my husband doesn't fish, so I love him to death. He's like outdoors guy, really manly. I will say, I'm not trying to play him down, but he's like more of the woods kind of chop down shit and like do that kind of stuff. But he's like, he can't sit still. That's pretty much it is. He'll hunt with me. He likes hunting. We've gone turkey hunting, but going to the drone thing, we went on. I have two kayaks, and we went on the kayaks, and so he did do a few shots of me. But again, like now, like you said, now that I can, land the drone right above me, I can use more of my boat to feel a bit more safe, kind of. I just felt like I don't want to drop this like expensive drone in the water.
Right?
But,
you'd hate to lose your drone in the middle of the shot.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, you got to chance that. Like I got so nervous of not using it because I'm like, this thing's so expensive. What if it falls into a tree? But the one I have, and I'm sure some of the other ones that are now newer, the mini ones, it like warns you, even if you're like so far away, it'll like beep when it's close to a tree and stuff like that, and it will stop itself. So it's a bit safe on that side, but I still was getting so nervous that I was not using it. I'm like, why did I do all this? So now I gotta like really just be like, if anything happens, that's what insurance is for. So, but yeah. So,
obviously, then you have insurance on all your what all equipment do you have for that kind of stuff? Like, what's your or is it your list is just endless, or do you have like a go-to that you use?
Honestly, I'm bad. Like I still have my cameras from when I graduated college. Like I should have sold those a long time ago. Now they're worth like nothing, but they're still amazing cameras. But I just don't trust them anymore. Like when the focus starts going off or the shutter, I feel a difference. It's just like anything. You drive a car, how it feels different. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So I mean, essentially, I just take photos of everything I have. I shoot with a Canon R5. And I'm mainly a prime 35 millimeter lens. Do you guys know anything about photography?
I know a little bit, so I understand this.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm sure
so
there's people that out there like that listen that know about photography, but I'm just like, that looks like a big camera. Like,
yeah,
the different lenses and stuff like that.
Yeah, when I'm doing like portrait stuff, like say if I'm boat to boat or kayak to kayak, I'm using like a 35 millimeter, or 24 to 70. And also when I'm just distance wise, I have a 70 to 200. And also, oh my gosh, what is it? 100 to 600, I think, or 150 to 600. So it just depends on the distance. And like, again, when I was on my kayak, I couldn't bring all those lenses out. Like I had a big box I bought, that floats and everything, but it's like a pain in the butt and super heavy with everything in it. So like now I feel a bit more safer to use everything.
Yeah, because you got the space now. I'd hate to be sitting there with a big box on my lap and be like fumbling with something, and then all of a sudden, whoop.
Oh my god, yeah, that's what would happen. I'm like, Shannon, because I always push with Shannon and I'm like, okay, I can't move, don't like do anything, I gotta quit, like slowly get this thing out. But yeah, I feel definitely a lot more confident because now I can literally set my camera on a tripod on the boat, right? Like if I do want to do things. So I really want to get the Insta360 for starting to film some stuff because I've done my GoPro so many times. Oh my god, you don't know how much footage I have. And then because I edit for a living, and then I may have caught some okay fish or good fish, I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered. So I just have a like folder so large of just GoPro footage. So I feel like the Insta360 will help me without like having to edit because it follows you on the boat rather than feeling like, oh, sometimes on the GoPro the fish would be in a different angle, and I'm like, oh, like. That's why I kind of want to change to that.
So you do edit all your own stuff then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like I haven't done a lot of video. That's the thing. I think it's because, again, editing is so long when it comes down to wedding photography that when it comes down to my personal life, I'm like, I don't want to do any editing. I just want to go home, sit on the couch and like watch a movie and go to bed. Like I just had a great day fishing. So I don't know how the people do it, like how people do like editing and video for a living, but maybe obviously they don't have something else to edit as full-time career as well. But that's my goal this year. I've really said no to weddings in a way of making more time for me. I have 18 weddings this year. That was my goal. And I've now I have Walleye opener, that day's off. Laker, that day's off. So I'm really like thinking of me this year and my mental health because I think that's really important. Because sometimes you can people do get so involved in their work so much, and I love what I do. I'm so grateful. Like I really do. It's just balancing my other stuff in my life as well. So that's what I'm trying to do as well.
And that's important. It's so important to
see. I think I got distracted.
No, no, it's good. I think I agree. It's really important to balance out your own personal, what you need for you, with your job. So, but to be able to kind of mesh the two, but still separate them at the same time is pretty fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I feel grateful for that.
And you capture some like awesome moments as well. Like your photos are phenomenal. Like
thank you.
Totally,
thank you so much. Thank you.
We were totally creeping and stalking your profile. That's very funny. And then when we seen you at CanCast, I did try and come up and talk to you, but then you disappeared.
Oh, I did see you. I did actually see you, and you were with Lori, I think, right?
Yeah, Lori Ann,
Yeah. I saw Lori's big smile, and I was like waving to her.
And then,
we hovered for a bit.
Yeah, and then the weather started to turn a bit, and we were like, "Oh, we're from Bruce County. It was a 3-hour drive for us."
Oh my God, yeah.
So the weather started to turn, and we were like, "Okay, we'll just message her on Instagram. Gotta go."
Yeah, all good, and I'm glad you did. Yeah, it's just so hard, right? Like, I mean, even sometimes I go there, and by the end of it, I'm like so buzzing, like overstimulated by talking to so many people that I come home and I'm like, Steve, don't even talk to me. Like, I can't. I'm like, I just need to do nothing.
And doing that panel as well, right? Like,
yeah.
When you guys did that panel, did you like have your questions like pre-known, or was it all on the spot?
There was supposed to be, I think it was Pam's husband. He was supposed to do the hosting or the questioning, and then he got called into work because of the ice storm. So he wasn't able to do it. And then so we all met up in the lobby, and then 2 of the other girls couldn't make it because of the ice storm. And so there were supposed to be 5 of us, and 5, 6, I can't count today. And so Kyle's like, I'm able to do it, but you could tell he was just like everywhere. Like he was killing the show and doing what he could everywhere. So Diana's done this kind of stuff before. She's a natural speaker. And so she just said, I'll just do it. And we kind of honestly in the lobby just came up with some questions. My stance on it was I very much just like love fishing for fishing. I think there's a lot of panels out there, and it's not that I'm not like a teach person. I'm not like, okay, go here, go there, do this. Like I feel like I naturally know what I'm doing on the water, but it feels unnatural for me to speak about it, if that makes any sense. Like I just want to tell people like fishing is so fun. You just need to buy a rod, like learn the basics and just get out there. And I feel like half the love is literally just being in nature. I love being on a back lake without any person around me, and just like the birds, and you can really hear everything. And that's what I love that's half the fun for me for fishing and being outside, is all that kind of stuff. So that's what I kind of went through on the panel. And so when we got through the questions, I was very nervous. I've never done anything like that. And then by the end of it, I'm like, I got to do this more, because I was like, this is awesome. So I think it's really like facing your fears and getting out of your comfort zone. And I don't know if you heard me talk about it, but I really go off the saying, seek discomfort. There's this thing I found on YouTube a long time ago, and they make these videos about getting out of your comfort zone. And I really think in life, you need to do that more, is like pushing yourself, like just get out and start, because it's only up to you to do it. Like I didn't have anyone in my life that taught me to fish and hunt. I didn't grow up with a dad or a parent or a figure above me. So it was me just went out and did that. And I really think more people need to just listen to themselves and just like do it. Stop waiting on someone else to do it for them. And I think every time I felt uncomfortable about something, I've always left feeling like the best person ever. So that's the only way we can learn, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Chrissy, any more questions about photography before we jump back into the other stuff?
No, I think I covered most. What is if you could photograph something? Like I usually ask photographers this when I'm talking to them. The bucket list thing that you would love to photograph.
Oh my God, that's a good question. How have I not thought of that?
That is a good question.
I honestly think, yeah, it is a great question. Maybe like in the rivers in BC, like fly fishing has always been like a goal of mine. Yeah, somewhere in the mountains with a beautiful stream or river would be like, and like getting I want to get an underwater like camera. Oh my God, I'm blanking. Housing. Because it'd be cool to get that shot where you get like the fish in it, and then also the like fishermen in the background.
It's half in the water, half above the water. Oh my God, that'd be so cool.
That is like my goal shots. So eventually I'll get my housing, and eventually I'll do it. So that would be like my goal, next level getting into. I think would be very cool.
That's amazing.
On that topic too, before again, side mission.
Yeah.
Have you traveled outside of Ontario and stuff to do your nature photography, or has it just been in Ontario?
Um,
Side quests are so
I
fun.
I know I like it, but that's what gets all the good juicy questions. Um, in 2000, I mean, at the time I wasn't doing photography like I am now, but I went to Peru. I volunteered in Peru for a month at an abused girl shelter. Stayed in a house with 18 people around the world, and I was able to travel on the weekends and see some and be with some amazing children and semi learn Spanish. I was awful at it, but I would love to learn Spanish. So then I did bring my camera. I got some awesome shots. I would love to share them because I look back at them now and I really am proud of them still. So that kind of experience. I also did Costa Rica at a turtle conservation. That was very cool, but that was a long time ago. So since then, just Alberta. Didn't really focus on photos, and recently visited Shannon, Cures Outdoors in Nova Scotia. So those are the only kind of places I've been, other than just resorts. Nothing else. But yeah, goal places would be go to BC again and actually take my camera and be enthralled in nature and set up fishing days, and that would be a big goal of mine. Yeah.
That would be absolutely awesome.
Amazing.
Now, are you back on? We're gonna go back again now.
That's okay.
Are you more into fishing over hunting then? Because we've spoken a lot about fishing. So is that kind of more of your bread and butter than hunting is, or do you just love both equally, or do you prefer hunting? But
it's okay. Oh my god, excuse me. I would say honestly, they all have good parts for them. Turkey hunting got me into hunting, and so I have a special love for that because when I didn't get my turkey that one year, I was in a relationship with someone who had back down to 100 acres, and the lady gave me permission to hunt it. And so, again, I don't know why I date these people that don't hunt or do things, but he fished at the time. But I decided to go out hunting by myself, and I learned the grounds and all that on my own. And I think it was a week later, I got my own turkey on my own time, and that was my first turkey ever. And the girl that owned the property, her name was actually, I shouldn't say her name actually, I'm not gonna say this, but she brought me back because she's a farmer, and she showed me how to fully pluck it and clean it the way it should, as kind of a full turkey you'd buy at a store. And I fed it to, as I say, it was a very cool experience. And I stuffed it with apples, I cleaned it, did everything, and had all my city friends, as I want to say, out, and they brought potluck food, and we did that. So there's that love there because I feel like I learned from that older guy, but I got my first turkey solo, and ever since then I've always hunted solo mainly. And every turkey has taught me different things. It's been very cool and so rewarding. So that love is for that. But obviously when turkey hunting ends, I still want to be somewhat in nature another way. So that's when I always look at different openers. I don't love a specific fish. I would say bass, I feel like is very fun to fish for. But my goals have been to learn fishing in all different ways. I'm not an expert on all of them. I just think everyone teaches you something. So walleye, is another reason. So I feel like all seasons. And then ice fishing is another love of mine. I would say ice fishing and turkey is pretty up there. But now that I got my boat, I think I'm getting a lot more excited for that. So yeah, I think any type of nature just gets me out there. There's not really a one over the other. It's all kind of mixed in together.
Ice fishing is my personal favorite too. I love being on the ice.
You were on Lake Nipissing, right? I don't know if you got. Yeah. It's a.
Sorry.
Go. No, go.
We were there. What, end of January, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, and sleeping on the ice is always so much fun, and
yeah.
I broke 2 rods this year, so I'm a little upset about that. 120 pounds, and I accidentally sit on one little piece, and it snapped.
Oh no!
And I'm how did I do that?
No!
120 pounds, and I tried to angle so I didn't sit on it, but somehow it shifted, and I sat on it. And,
oh no! That's brutal. It's okay. I've closed a rod on my car door getting to it's shitty experiences, but then you learn from those ones. But haven't sat on a rod yet. I'm sure I will.
So what's your favorite fish to target through the ice then?
I would say walleye is really fun for me. Brookies, because I feel like there's a lot more brook trout back lakes that are fun to explore. As I mentioned earlier, me and my husband bought property up north. We bought 72 acres on a river in North Frontenac, and we bought an ATV in the process and stuff. So there's these back lakes that lead us into all these like brook trout lakes that have stashed canoes and all this stuff. So it's been really fun to learn that kind of thing. And usually a lot of those back lakes are frozen before the big lakes, especially when they don't have a lot of moving water in them. So I would say brookies are really fun. They can be a pain in the butt for a lot of people. But yeah, brookies, and then walleye. Walleye is another big love of mine. But yeah.
Walleye tastes delicious too as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Lakers are fun, but honestly, I haven't got into anything big. Big enough like a Lake Simcoe Laker. I've gotten into decent sizes on some back lakes. Whitefish is very fun actually on Lake Simcoe, but I only went about 4 times this year. And then the snow, obviously, either it wasn't frozen or we just had so much snow, so I didn't really get out there much.
It was a weird year.
Like,
yeah.
Last year we barely got enough. This year it was the weather was fine, but there was just too much freaking snow everywhere.
I know. It's like we get one thing or the other, right? But it's almost like you rather an early like freeze out and then versus, because 2 years ago, me and Shannon, we were idiots, but we went on our kayaks. Don't do this. Do not do this unless you have a dry suit, right? I think that's what saves you, not a wetsuit. Which one is it? I see this.
You want a dry suit.
Thank you. Don't get a wetsuit. Don't listen to me. See, this is where my idiot brain comes in. But anyways, January 2nd, I think it was 2023, we went out on Lake Simcoe and fished for whitefish. And I caught one, which was really cool on my kayak. And then we went out again like 3 days later, and like when we went out the first time, it was so calm. It was like glass. It was beautiful out. Like on Lake Simcoe, we were like, this is amazing. But then we got our hopes up too much and went out 3 days later, and it was way too windy. And so I'm like, well, I'm leaving. This is sketchy. So wouldn't do that again. No. Yeah. I mean, it's stupid. You really shouldn't be doing. So I definitely, honestly, would never do that again. But unless it's like a calm glass and having a dry suit. So yeah. Yeah.
I thought you were going with float suit. That's what I thought.
Yeah. I do have a float suit. Yeah, I do have a float suit. I don't know if I had it on at the time, but either way, I mean, you're out there that far, like it's still not a smart move to do, right? Like, especially in a kayak. There's people on boats around us, but I felt too, so I was like, I'm heading in. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it for a fish. Like, I only trust myself. Yeah. And I only trust myself going out on the ice. You should always trust yourself only. Don't ever, even if you have a best friend that says the ice is fine, you always check it yourself. And I always go off that. So, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Or a big rock, because Diana was, no, she was but yeah.
Just, huck a rock down. If it goes through, it's not safe. If it stays up, you're good.
Yeah.
Tossing a rock forward.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually a hilarious way to do it.
Yeah, well, me and Diana ATV'd, I think it was like December 20th, to the back lakes near our property. And I knew they were kind of frozen because I had ridden back there, but because she came from Durham region, everything looks, nothing looks like it's frozen. Everyone's always like, are you on the ice yet? Really? Already? But when you go 2 hours north, things change so quickly. We got to this back lake and she grabbed this massive rock and she threw it out. She's like, we could have gone ice fishing. And I'm like, well, we should have done that, but we didn't that day. That's okay.
Oh my God, that's too funny.
See, I'm getting sidetracked here, so.
It's actually, we're getting close to time. So, Chris, is there anything else you wanted to ask?
Any like major memorable moments from the field that that really stand out to you for your hunting or fishing adventures that you're just like, that is something I'm going to carry with me forever so far?
I feel like a lot of them combine together. The one memory that always stands out, me and Diana went to this new lake we had never been on. We looked at it on Navionics and drove to it, spudded our way out. It was thick enough. There was like huts out there by the time we walked out. Found like this semi drop off to like 40, drop down deep to 80, but we were on this lip of like 40. And we were fishing. We always fish in our own huts, and we always have walkie-talkies on us. So we're able to like communicate back and forth. And we got out there like, I think sunrise, and around noon, I hooked onto a fish. It felt like a laker because there's lakers in this lake, and there's also walleye. And I was reeling it up and I yelled to Diana, and Diana comes running over and I'm like, oh my God, it's a big fish. Like, I think it's a laker. And she comes running over and you see it. She goes, it's a walleye. And it was a beautiful, like 28-inch walleye. At noon, I think it was 27 and a half, like something, because we didn't have measurements. We only had our 20-inch rods. So we were going off that. And this was at noon, and people are like, oh, walleye's good in the mornings and evenings. Honestly, this lake, I always catch walleye during the day. I don't know what it is about it. Obviously, it can depend on weather and everything. And then 10 minutes goes by, we've released the fish, and I hear Diana yell, and I run over there, and she catches a fish an inch bigger than mine. It's another beautiful walleye. And yeah, that was probably one of the best, like, coolest days ever, especially when you explore new lakes like that. You just don't know what to expect. So I'd say that was one of the best memories I've had on the ice.
That's so much
That's
fun.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing like pulling a big walleye through the ice.
No.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on tonight. We do really appreciate
Of course.
it. It was nice chatting with you, learning about all the photography and hearing the stories and stuff like that. It's so cool that you have been on like the covers of the fishing regs and out of doors, and like, again, like you said, seeing women and stuff on the covers and doing that kind of stuff, being a predominantly male industry, it's a really nice change. And that's kind of why I started this podcast, is to showcase amazing women like yourself.
Thank you.
It's just awesome what you do. Like,
thank you.
It's awesome.
I appreciate that. And what you guys are doing is awesome. I think it's really cool. Like, all the people you've had on, I've always like looked at in like, you know, a way that I've inspired from. So it's been very fun to hear, like, listen to your podcast and see everyone that comes on. It's very, very awesome. So just keep doing what you guys are doing. And thanks for having me on. I feel very like grateful for that. So yeah.
We were listening to you talk, and then while we were listening to the panel, we started like creeping Instagram, and I already had you on Instagram. I was like, okay, I've looked at her before, and then that's when I was like, now we actually like need to go bug her. we didn't get to bug you.
Bug me anytime. It's all good.
It was we looked at each other and we're like, yeah, we want her.
Oh, that's so nice. I appreciate it, because I was honestly so nervous for that. Like, I was telling girls, like, don't ask me questions I don't feel comfortable. And then, like, I feel like when you get into it, you're just naturally flows, you know? So.
Well, that's exactly kind of what happened tonight. Like, it just kind of, I mean, we did a bunch of side quests, but.
Yeah, sorry. I apologize.
No. That's both of us as well. Like,
that's all the episodes are, is just side quests.
Okay, good. Okay, I know, but it's. Together. Yeah, okay, good. I just want to make sure I answered them okay, but yeah.
That's what makes it creative, organic, and lots of fun.
That's very true. Good point.
Then the main quest finally gets done.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Anyway, it makes it natural. But yeah.
Thank you again so much for coming on.
Of course.
Again, big shout out to our sponsors, Revolution Armory, True North Baits, Hot Box Huts, and the Decoy Daddy. Guys, we'll catch you next week. It's not ending. There we go.
Still says recording.
Oh.
Is it on?